Well, we've got a moment. Let's remind you that coming up next after our race, it'll be NASCAR Now here on ESPN2. And then next Saturday on ABC, that's right, ABC at 2:30 Eastern, it'll be the Nationwide Series event, the Aaron's 312, from the high banks of Talladega. Under our third caution here at the Texas Motor Speedway. And we can tell you after coming in for repairs, Kevin Harvick, we're on board with him right now. He is now back in 23rd position, and there's the damage that he had on the left rear quarter.
Andy, I'm concerned about the 2 o'clock position on that left rear tire, just right under the C on .com there. It looks like that fender's awful close. We saw smoke come out of this particular car earlier, and I don't think they've got that thing clearance enough yet.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to come back in and pull on that just a little bit more.
Let's go back and show you what happened on pit road, because they had a bit of a problem when they put the fuel in. Watch what happens. It'll splash just before they got the Barabon, and now that isn't going to stick, so they had to take a little bit of extra time. Luckily under caution.
Not going to work there, so
yeah,
they have to get it dried off and try to get all this. They're trying to get the bumper bent back up. They had a lot going on right there, and they feel pretty good about the repair. They think they're going to be fine on not rubbing the tire. So.
The thing I don't like about when I see stuff like this, you see the Goodyear emblem on the left rear of Kevin's car completely rubbed off, and those tires take a real big whack, and boy, 9 times out of 10 when we see that, we see those tires go down. We just talked about Clint Boyer's car. We didn't see any smoke at all, and it went flat.
Well, we'll find out soon enough, as there is a close-up view of the 33. We have 24 cars on the lead lap. A couple other cars are now off the track. David Starr is behind the wall, so is Brian Keselowski. And we already mentioned the fact Clint Bowyer, of course, was our earlier caution here. Lights are out on the pace car as we are getting closer to the midway point. It'll be Kyle Busch on the inside again, Carl Edwards right alongside, Joey Logano, Jamie McMurray in row 2, and then Reed Sorensen, Greg Biffle in row 3.
Yeah, Jamie McMurray's done a great job all day, not having run these cars in a while. He's got the 88 car up there in the top 5.
Pace car pulls down on pit road. Kyle has been perfect on the last 2 restarts from that low side. Green flags out. We're back to racing here at Texas. Bit of a log jam 3 wide as they head down into 1. A 6-car Stenhouse. Cooler heads are prevailing, giving some room. Again, Kyle gets a great start. Joey Logano and Carl Edwards trying to go on the high side of Logano.
And those restarts really surprise me, because almost all year long we've been seeing the top side of the track, the fast way around on these restarts. But with this new tire, and here at Texas today, even in the Cup race, they've been choosing the bottom.
Side by side, Logano and Edwards. That's for second. It's allowing Kyle to pull away. You're on board with Carl.
Hey, Carl's had kind of a quiet year this year. We talked about it earlier that he's running pretty decent, but we're just not talking about him near as much. And he said, Rusty, we just need more power. The car's not handling right. It's so-so. Just not what we need to win yet. And they're continuing to work on this number 60 car.
Starting to fall into single file behind Jamie McMurray. There's Reed Sorensen, Greg Biffle right behind Reed.
Yeah, Biffle made that big charge at the beginning of the race, and like you said, Marty, when he got to the better cars, that going got a little tougher. But now he's up to 6th and now looking for more.
Well, a little further back in 10th place, here comes Brad Keselowski. Remember when he had that earlier problem, lost a lot of ground. He is now working his way back, getting around Trevor Bayne. Stephen Wallace also putting a little pressure on the 99.
It's a tight race. These guys have been hanging out pretty well all day long. Got pretty good handling cars. You see Keselowski and Bayne and Wallace, they've been flopping it back and forth. And in front of that pack, Justin Allgaier's had a steady run throughout the day, too. He's worked at the bottom of the track, the top of the track. And here's a young guy just got his first win this year at Bristol. He's feeling pretty good about his chances.
He is the only car in the top 10 that did not do double duty today. Everybody else ran the race earlier. So far, the fatigue factor does not seem to be a factor.
You know, take a look at Jamie McMurray right there driving Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s number 88 car. This guy is really good in these nationwide cars, and it surprised me that he hasn't run them more. He's got an opportunity to do it now, and he's going to stay doing it. But the 32 car, Doc, of Reed Sorensen, that car's looking strong, too.
Rusty, you're exactly right. Give a call to Reed. Both he and his over-the-wall crew for Braun Racing pulling off double duty today. They started back in 22nd position. He drove that car all the way to 10th by the in yellow at lap 25. Came off a pit road in 9th spot, gained 2 more spots, and is now all the way up to 5th position. He said the car is still almost too loose to make some passes. Dave.
And as Sorensen gets pressure from Biffle now up in 4th place, the 88 of McMurray. Rusty was just talking about him. I talked to Pop Siri, the crew chief, this week about getting Jamie on board. Why did you pick him? Well, lots of experience, he said, and he doesn't usually wreck race cars. We need that right now. Anything else I said? Yeah, he was the first one to call me back.
His last start in the Nationwide Series was Homestead back in 2008. Let's shift our coverage. Check in on the battle for 8th position. You got Allgaier, Rudeman in the 10. Right in front of him is Menard, who's running in 7th. Let's get more on Justin Allgaier, Vince.
Allgaier's had a pretty good race car today, and he likes to run it up top, as you see where he is running in that higher groove. And that's Brad Keselowski right behind him. And Allgaier told me just before the race today how important it has been to him to run competitively with Keselowski, his teammate. He said when Brad came over, he had wins under his belt. He has so much more experience than me. He said to run with Keselowski and then to beat him at Bristol was a huge boost for Justin. He said, it proved to me I really do have the talent to be competitive in this series. 2 guys working well together as teammates and running together right now side by side on the track.
Great view there as he has to tuck in behind from Justin Allgaier's rear bumper, looking back on the 22 of Keselowski.
We can hear just how little they're out of the throttle right there.
Okay, this 22 car, Keselowski's been strong. Take a look at Harvick now. We don't see any smoke out of that left rear like we talked about might be coming. I just thought that defender was awful close, too close for comfort for me.
His 33 car is right now in 13th position, and you can see since the restart he has picked up 10 spots. Remember, he started back in 23rd, and right now he has got his sights set on the 66 of Stephen Wallace.
Looks like that repair job's holding up pretty well too on that back bumper.
Looks like it's bottoming out just a little bit, Andy, not much, but definitely not slowing this car down at all right now.
No, he clears as we check in with the battle with 9th. Remember when Brad Keselowski was 26th after his earlier issue? Well, right now he is threatening Paul Menard for 9th. Right in front there is Justin Allgaier on the high side alongside with David Rudeman. That's for 7th.
These guys, I was talking to a lot of these drivers before the race started. They said, man, you just don't understand, Rusty, how hard we got to run these cars through the center. A lot of times we're running almost every lap wide open, just barely out of the throttle just a little bit. And I've been listening to some of the throttle response, and you can't hardly hear the tone change, and these engines are running so hard.
While all this is going on, Kyle Busch continues to click off the laps up front. He has now led 68 of the 99 that we have completed. And all you family members, both of our crew and all the crews on the track, I can guarantee you one thing. We are coming home because we are now halfway, which means this race is official no matter what happens from here on out. Stay with us. There's your top 5. Can Kyle get 5 in a row? Stay and find out.